In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to change the color of eyes in a portrait. So to do this today, we're going to be using a color fill layer. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but this is just the method we're going to use. So you want to make sure that your rulers are turned on here. So if they're not, just go to View and click Rulers, and that will turn on your rulers. So there's a real simple way to make a circle to select the eye. All you have to do is grab your ruler and click and drag and pull down. Mine didn't want to come. Alright, there you go. And pull it down to the base of the iris. Now click and drag over here on the left side. And pull this over to where the iris would be. And you have these two lines now. These lines are imaginary. They won't print when you print out your photo. So I'm going to zoom in, and my line wasn't quite where I wanted it to be, so I'm going to pull it over a little bit. And this is the perfect way to make a circle. So what we're going to do is grab our marquee tool. Now your rectangular marquee is probably selected, so let's click that black arrow and grab the elliptical marquee. So to make a circle, you can just come down here to line your cursor up with the cross of the lines, and then just click and drag, and you'll see a circle begin to form. And just match it as close as you can to the eye. And then we're going to go up to Layer, New Fill Layer, Solid Color. So you can change the color and change the name and just hit OK. And so I want blue eyes, so I'm going to scroll up here and find a blue that I like. There's one. So now that I have this selected, you can see that I just have like a blue dot over my eye. So I'm going to come over here to the Layers palette. And on the Layers palette, you have the blending mode. Right now it's in normal. I'm going to click here. You can either use overlay, you can use soft light, or you can use color for this. I'm going to use color. It tends to give it a little bit more vibrant feel. So now you can see that we still have this circle around here that we don't want. So to get rid of that, I'm going to come over here and select the layer mask on my palette, which is the black box there. And then I'm going to come grab my eraser tool. Now you want to make sure that down here on your paint that your white is selected as your foreground color. If it's not, you can just use these little arrows to switch it back and forth. And then you can just come down here and paint until you get the excess out from around the eye. So I'm just going to keep painting here. Now, if something happens and you get over into the eye, all you have to do is switch back to the black paint and come down here, and this will allow you to paint it back in. So I'll come back here and get that excess off. So now you have a pretty decent eye, but you still have that overlay over the pupil. So I'm going to come over here and make my eraser brush the same size as my pupil and click on the pupil. And that will erase that color off the pupil. Now I'm going to zoom out so you can see the difference. Right now you can see there's a pretty big difference, but there's a couple other things that we can do to make it look even better. So we're going to zoom back in. And I'm going to come over here and grab my Dodge and Burn tool. Now the Dodge tool is probably on top. It's this black one that looks like it's got a circle on it. So I'm just going to grab that one first. And come over here to my highlights. And really first thing I'm going to do is come down here to my Layers palette. Click that background and copy that layer in case I don't like this. So now that I've got that copy, I'm going to come over here to my highlights and just paint over the highlights. Just go over them once or twice, because if you go over them more than that, then it's just going to look way out of place. So try and proportion it to the way that the highlights are done naturally. So now I have that highlight. I'm going to come over here and grab my Burn tool. Now I'm going to click and hold underneath the Dodge tool with that little black arrow and grab this hand. It's making a circle. It's called the Burn tool. And I'm just going to make my brush a little smaller. And I'm just going to go around the edge here just a little bit and burn that so it looks a little darker and a little more natural. You can also burn a little bit in the pupil if you'd like, around the pupil a little bit. And there is the finished product, so we're going to zoom out so you can see the difference. So you can see there's a pretty big difference. So that's pretty much it on changing eye color in Photoshop. So join us for the next tutorial.